Welcome back to Garage Built Strongman, and I am sorry for what happens next. All right, so this is the second video of 2024, and if you watched the previous video, which you probably should, so I can explain to what's going on, because I don't really feel like going through it again, and you don't want to just listen to me talk. So, we're on new programming based off of someone else's programs, and as I mentioned, it's Josh Bryant, and it may be Brant. Maybe I'm just confused again. But anyway, so this is what we're going to do today. So we're doing the front squats. A lot of this is more explosiveness right now. And as we get closer to my next event, I'm going to work on the weights. And hopefully it all comes together the way I think it should. But I am not a coach. This is my second year competing, and I am an idiot. So we're going to do front squats, 6x2 at 225. And immediately we're going to superset with box jumps at 30 inches. From there, I'm going to go outside and we're going to do some farmer's walks, 6 runs at 50 feet. Now the weight's only about 165 pounds. It may be a little bit more depending on how I feel. But again, we're working on the movement. So getting up off the ground and getting moving forward. And again, the weights will progress. I can do much, much more. Then I'm going to do some sandbag loads. Again, with the 200-pound bag, just try and get the explosive movements. Backward sled drags, a lot of quads. Love it. It's not very heavy, but it's more about the short steps and keeping your body just pumping. Next, I don't know if you can see it, I'm going to do sandbag carry, same 200-pound sandbag. I'm going to do 4 runs at 50 feet, and then side neck. These neck exercises are just interesting. My neck is always stiff and sore now because the muscles are not used to doing this sort of thing. So, that's the plan for today. And let's hope it's as fun as it looks like it's going to be. And I'm just getting back into my training programs. We're going to have a go at all this. But first, no, that ain't right. All right, so the first one we're doing is front squats. But before I even bother with the bar or anything, I like to warm up. You know, if you watch strongman stuff, you see these big guys. You know, they start off at 250 pounds or whatever that is in kilograms. But I'm not Tim Stolman. I'm not Mark Hooper. Like, I have to warm up. I'm an old guy. These guys are in their early 30s or even their late 20s. I am not those guys. So what I love to do is a few sets of air squats just to get the blood pumping before I get the sleeves on and start putting weight on the bar. I don't just do an empty bar. I don't need to. Once I've got my legs warmed up, I throw a couple plates on and I progress up to the weight I'm going to do. So just some air squats. Just some simple air squats. Just that. Nice and low. Like, just in case I lose my balance. I'm getting close to 50 here, so, you know, equilibrium, balance, all that shit. So I'm going to do a couple more sets of them. I'm not going to bore you with that. And then we'll move on to the bar, some plates. I don't have to do too many practicing, or warm-up, sorry, with the box jumps because, well, once your legs are a little warmed up, you're just jumping. You're just jumping. all warmed up. I'm ready to go. I got my sleeves on, got my belt ready. 225 on the bar. I moved my box jump setup. If I do a 30-inch box jump, I'm going to smack my noodle on the rafters in the garage here, and that's going to make for a bad day. So I moved to where I have an opening to get stuff up into the loft, and that's where I'm going to do it. My stool, my milk crate, my dirty ass SpongeBob friggin' cushion here is below 90 degrees. So when I come off, I'm below 90 degrees. I find it just requires that extra bit of power. So we're just gonna get into it, and I'm gonna show you this too. I'm gonna maybe I'll speed this up for you guys and throw on some tunes so it's not as boring as I think it looks. All right. So now we're going to move on to farmer's walk, and I'm going to go get that set up. Okay, we're on to farmer's walk. I've got it set up at about 100 pounds right now. I'm really only going to like 165-ish. Depending on how lazy I get with the plates, it may end up being more, but that's okay. So, as usual, I've got some liquid chalk on my hands already. I like to go back and then add the powdered chalk. I think it works as a great combination. So let's get after it. That'll do for a warm-up. Alright, so laziness got the better of me. Not that it's a big deal. I've got 170 on there. Might slow me down a touch, but it won't be too bad. So again, we're gonna speed it up, throw some music on, try not to bore you too much.
All right, I'll do it for Sled, or for the farmer's walk. We got Sled next. Not sure how that's gonna go. The ground is really uneven here, which I think adds to my training, makes it a little more difficult. It's very soft, very sandy ground. Tried to cut my speed in short breaks, except for petting the dog. But my left knee is really aching. We got some weather coming in. We're talking quite a bit of rain for the next couple of days. I had surgery on my knee 3 years ago. So the weather still bothers. So next up is sled drags. I'm gonna go catch my breath. I took a few extra minutes. My knee was really starting to ache, so I took a few extra minutes to let it calm down a little. Sled drags are decidedly hard on my my knee, but regardless, here we go. All right, it's time for some sandbag loads. A 200-pound bag. Bar's not that high, but it's really about, again, building that explosive power as best you can. This is a pretty decent weight. I could go to the 150 bag, but I really felt like doing the 200. So let's try it out. And that's sandbag loading. I'm not going to video all of it or speed it up or play music. That's it. So now that the sandbag load is done, I'm going to opt for the 150-pound sandbag for the carry. 2 reasons. A little torched, knees, hip are hurting. This weather's awesome. And I want to practice the pop. So I want to do 1 shoulder carry and 2 front loads. Some of the events with sandbag carry, they don't have a problem with you shouldering the bag. They don't necessarily have to hold it in front. You get a lot more speed when you shoulder the bag and go. However, part of what I want to do and part of what today's workout is a lot of leg power. So I'm going to go for the 150 bag and do my runs that way, 1 shoulder carry. I got the bag up on the sled here, and I got a mat down there. Ground's soft and wet. Don't really want to get the bag too much more filthier than it already is. A little hint for you. If the weight is at the top end of your ability, and you're wearing a hard belt like this, if you get the belt up and kind of lean it on the belt, it will take some of the weight, and it helps you last just a little bit longer. Let me show you. Come here, handsome boy. All right, next up, we have side decks. Basically, just exactly what it sounds like. So you have to have one of these strange apparatuses, which works, but it's kind of a pain. And the whole thing just kind of seems kind of dingy and weird. And there's probably a better apparatus. I definitely look like I belong, like I wear a helmet all the time, but trust me, I have not figured this thing out perfectly yet. But more or less, I like to keep the one hand somewhere to help stabilize it. Just full extension one way and up. And I mean, that's it. So you flip it around, just move the chain, and do the other side. So I'm going to finish these on my own. We don't really need videos, it's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, so that's basically what it is. I'm not going to bore you with the rest of this. I got to do the other side and then one more set of 20 on each side. And that'll be it for the day. I enjoyed this workout. It's a bit of a struggle, but all in all, I did okay, I think. So, thanks for checking out the video. Enjoy the terrible editing, the poorly executed workouts, and hopefully I can bring you some more content very soon and a little more reliably, and hopefully I can stay healthy and energetic, and both mentally and physically. And yeah, thanks a lot.